Overcommitment and Burnout, a video for the whole program. Take a moment and think about your expectations coming into St. Olaf College. Were they high, low, in the middle? Now take a moment and reflect upon your current expectations and maybe even your involvement on the Hill. Do you have a lot of free time? Are you constantly attending meetings, class, practice, and studying? I would guess that a lot of you fell under the second option. Filling your schedule and being involved is a good thing in theory, but at times this involvement can cross the line of healthy and become unhelpful and unhealthy when you become overcommitted and burnt out. People that are overcommitted exert themselves past normal levels, commonly in search of positive recognition. Overcommitment can lead to adverse psychological and physical health due to the disconnect between effort and regard, constantly feeling like they are working in a high-cost, low-gain situation. Additionally, the need for recognition that characterizes overcommitment can make it extremely difficult to leave a task, even when there are other important events and activities taking place. Whether or not you have heard of overcommitment, many of you may relate to a situation like this. You have just agreed to help your friend by reading and editing their midterm SOAN paper, with every intention to help your friend do their absolute best on their paper. Time passes and you are supposed to have the paper edited by the end of the night. You become anxious, stressed, overwhelmed, and wonder how you're going to find time in your own busy midterm schedule to help your friend. So you work until you are exhausted and unable to concentrate or think straight. You finish editing your friend's paper as well as completing your own work and attending all of the meetings for clubs you are involved in. You fulfill your commitment, but the quality of your work does not meet your own or others' expectations, and you leave feeling as though you let yourself and others down. Does this situation sound familiar? It probably does, or reminds you of a time in your life. It is not healthy to always overpromise, overestimate, overdo, and overextend, and makes it much harder to properly take care of yourself. It is clear that overcommitment is not ideal, but on occasion we all do it and commonly regret it afterward. As a student, it always seems as though there is too little time for all of the things that must be completed each day. However, choosing your clubs and organizations carefully is still important. Saying no is also okay. Respectfully declining opportunities that may be draining or overwhelming will serve you much better than attending an event without being fully present. Setting priorities and allocating your time wisely are both skills that are critical for both personal and professional development and allow you to take control of your time and create a schedule that supports your goals and passions in life. Additionally, overcommitment has many connections to maladaptive perfectionism, including the tendency to hold high expectations and commonly experiencing burnout. Maladaptive perfectionism is an unhealthy form of perfectionism accompanied by unrealistic expectations and the desire to reach excessively high goals. An example of maladaptive perfectionism would be feeling a pressure to be the best at everything. All A's, first chair in your ensemble, and president of your club. We are not meant to function at perfect levels, let alone have enough energy to remain at that level of excellence over a long period of time. The exceedingly high goals people with maladaptive perfectionism set for themselves are often not attainable. Life as a college student is filled with opportunities to develop and grow, but there are also expectations that college students will adapt to changing environments effortlessly. These increasing demands and expectations commonly leave students feeling weak, unsuccessful, tired, and burned out. Burnout in college students is defined as feeling exhausted because of study demands, having a cynical and detached attitude toward one's schoolwork, and feeling incompetent as a student. Similar to overcommitment, burnout happens due to a high discrepancy between an individual's realistic and unrealistic expectations. Students with burnout commonly hold unrealistic expectations and feel disappointed when they are unable to achieve their goals. Additionally, failing to meet the standards one has set for themselves may lead to feelings of worthlessness and powerlessness. However, there is good news. Students with high self-regulation are able to regulate their expectations and recover from feelings of disappointment that come with overcommitment and burnout. Self-regulation is defined as the exercise of influence over one's own motivation, thought processes, emotional states, and patterns of behavior. Self-regulation skills allow students to manage their thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and time more effectively. Additionally, they experience less emotional exhaustion and show more motivation for academic responsibilities. Therefore, they have greater academic success and feel more capable. There are 4 steps in the self-regulation process: self-monitoring, self-instruction, goal setting, and self-reinforcement. Self-monitoring involves making sure you are comprehending the information that you are exposed to while completing a task. Self-monitoring involves checking yourself for effectiveness and assessing and revising your strategies appropriately. If you are doing homework, for example, you may pause 15 minutes into the assignment and think about the study strategies you are using, and decide if you are understanding the information well enough to move on, or if you need to reassess your study techniques. Self-instruction involves the little voice in your head. Self-instruction involves literally talking yourself through a task. This may help people organize, orient, or structure behavior. Goal setting is often a characteristic of successful students. Setting goals allows you to visualize the process that is made on a task, enhancing motivation, providing structure, and focusing attention. The anticipation and fulfillment that accompanies goal setting provides motivation throughout the process until the goal is achieved. Self-reinforcement sounds complex. However, it simply involves picking a reinforcer, like a walk outside, and self-administering it when you have reached a goal or an acceptable level of performance. For example, say you are studying for an important chemistry exam over 5 chapters of the textbook. If you are practicing self-reinforcement, you may choose an iced coffee for your reinforcer, and treat yourself once you have successfully studied 2 chapters of information for the exam. It is not a bad thing to have high expectations for yourself, but if they are causing you to feel defeated and incapable, it may be time to reassess. College is a busy time, and it is extremely important to take on what you can manage in a healthy manner. This video for the whole program has a lot of helpful information about overcommitment and burnout, but it is not comprehensive. If you are looking for more information or resources, check out the Resources tab on the whole program website.